Hello and welcome to week 3 of the NFL season. What's going on? Matt O'Leary. Going to be hanging out with you, doing a little preview of the New York Jets versus the Denver Broncos here in week 3. Some pregame thoughts coming into it. And yeah, let's just jump right in. Initial thoughts. I'll also be reacting to the last hour of the 1:00 games. I have that on behind my camera. So if you see me just zoning out, it's because I'm a little distracted by, let's say, the games. Like I'm watching Patrick Mahomes try to throw a pass right now as his Chiefs trail by 4, which I'm surprised with that one. I don't quite understand it. Okay, when streaming to custom to the streamer, I won't be able to show viewer comments. That's frustrating. Okay. So I'll just have to read off the comments through YouTube instead, because I'm not streaming right to YouTube. I'm streaming to Restream so I can get it on YouTube and Twitter at the same time. So let's check the comments. What do we got? First one from Noah. What's going on with Mimsy? Oh my God. I feel like this is going to be a storyline for, the end of time. So Denzel Mims is once again a healthy scratch in week 2 or week 3 rather, which is frustrating. It's the second game in a row, I guess I should say, that he is a healthy scratch. It's not super surprising. It's annoying, but it's not super surprising. We did get the news this past week that Denzel Mims has received some trade interest from around the league. The Jets not willing to budge on that. So I guess it shows there's a plan in place. They want to do this, and they want Denzel Mims here for the development. I personally think it's in the Jets' best interest to play him in order to develop, which, again, just don't understand why, it has to be this way where he can't get on the field. He has to learn all 3 positions because you can't just use a player for his strength. So it's a little bit frustrating, but no Crowder either. I also see that underneath. No Crowder today. Third game in a row that he hasn't played. It's not been a super huge loss so far because I think Elijah Moore is filling that role just fine. I know he didn't have a great week 1, but in week 2 he looked significantly better. And right now they've loved Braxton Berrios in the slot as he's led the team with targets through the first 2 weeks of the year. I think it's 18 targets through 2 games. That seems like a preposterous amount for Braxton Berrios, but hey, they love dinking it off to him, and it's been working for their offense so far. So good. What else we got? We got someone else in here, not Jets related, but I'm mad at Hollywood Brown. Hollywood stunk today. He dropped 2 touchdown passes that I've seen so far. Maybe even worse since I've come up here and started getting the stream ready to go, which is just not very good at all. So yeah, Hollywood Brown, not the greatest. Prestige Shogun says, would you send Mims if you were somehow offered a first? Well, yeah, that's a little bit different, but I don't think the Jets are being offered a first round pick for Denzel Mims. Oh, we got a fumble. Colts just recovered a fumble. There we go. They're going back the other way. That's good for my fantasy. I have in one of my leagues the Colts defense, so I will take that. They've only allowed 14 so far. Very much still in this game against Tennessee. But if I'm offered a first-round pick for Denzel Mims, yeah. I mean, I think you would take that for someone who hasn't really played a whole lot in their first 2 years. I love his ceiling, but if someone's going to pay you better value than where you got him for with the depth they have at the wide receiver position, then yeah, I think you take it. But if you're all getting offered like, I don't know, what do you realistically think they're being offered right now? A 5th? I'm not trading him for a 5th. Absolutely not. We got Fields really lighting it up. Has he been better in the second half? I know in the first half he was downright brutal. I'm going to check in on the box score numbers right now, but it was not looking too pretty before for him. Where is he at? They have 3 points, so I'm going to imagine that was a sarcastic comment. He has 44 of 11, 47 yards. Not a great day. Let's see. James DiPietro chimes in, P. Ryan and Coleman out, Adams in. Coleman's sick, so he's not going to play today, which I obviously hope that he feels better. I would like to see a lot more of Michael Carter and Ty Johnson. And I also am a big Josh Adams guy. I think he's played well when given the opportunity, even, last year in the regular season. So Adams as the third option, I'm okay with it. I think he's a higher ceiling player than LaMichael Pirine. Sorry, that's just how I feel. I think he'll be better in short yardage situations because the Jets haven't really been that good running the ball in short yardage situations. So we'll see what happens today. I don't expect him to have a huge role. Again, I think it's going to be mostly Carter and Johnson running the ball, and they're going to have to get the run going in this game against the Denver Broncos. They're a tough defense. They made Trevor Lawrence look really bad last week, so we'll see. And Jacksonville just scored again. So they're up 20. They're about to be up 20-10 on Arizona. That is just bizarre. What a meltdown from Arizona. Steve T chimes in. Matt, you watch Red Zone when Jet's not on? That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I have Red Zone on behind the camera, peeking around, seeing what's going on. I'm looking at right now Detroit trying to go in and score for the first time today, and it looks like DeAndre Swift just did that. So they are on the board, 13-6, extra point pending. So absolutely not. Absolutely, I do check in. I originally read that question as, do you watch Red Zone even when the Jets are on, which is a no-go for me. I can't. I have to be locked into the Jets. It's just one of my things that I have to do. Like, I don't know. I can't have the two screens. I get distracted easily. I can barely do a live stream and have the video on in the background. As the Chiefs just score a touchdown to go up 16-14, extra point pending. Prestige Shogun is back. Matt, call me biased if you want, but I think the Jets are better than the Giants right now. I also believe the Giants are the worst team in the NFL. They are bad. The Giants are a bad team. The Jets are also a bad team. So it's not like you can't really enjoy the Giants' lack of success because the Jets are also not good, but it's 7-6 in the third quarter. Daniel Jones has 200-yard passing. Saquon Barkley, I took his over in the rushing prop. I think I had him at 61.5 yards. He has 41 on 11 carries. Saquon, see, that it just goes back to show you, don't take a running back super early if your offensive line stinks because they're going to be useless. So moral of the story, don't take running back second with a number 2 pick overall. It just doesn't make sense, especially when you're a team like the Giants, and we don't have to relive those situations. But the Giants are really bad. They're down to one of the worst teams in football right now in the Atlanta Falcons at home. They haven't scored a touchdown yet at home on the Atlanta defense, which is atrocious. Their defense stinks. We don't have to turn this into a Giants stream or just, I guess we're just talking football. That's fine. But their defense is so bad right now in Atlanta. And the fact that the Giants only have 6 points is pretty embarrassing. But it's not like the Jets have been great either through 2 weeks. They've hung in their games. I'll give them that. But yeah. What else we got in the chat? Stephen T is back with difference is the Jets seem to have a plan, but Giants' situation is so combustible. That is true. The Jets do seem to have a plan. Now, will that plan work? Don't know. There is no way to tell, but you hope that as the season goes on, they continue to get better. You hope that the young guys continue to play well, and you hope that Zach Wilson's the answer. I agree that the Jets at least have a plan while the Giants try to do a competitive rebuild, I think. And that is just, I don't know. I'm not a Dave Gettleman guy. I don't think he has built this team up very good. And they're probably going to finish how many wins do you think the Giants finished with? 5, maybe? And that kind of leaves them in no man's land in a not particularly great quarterback class. So do they run it back with Daniel Jones again in his 4th year? I don't know. I feel like they're in a similar situation to the Jets last year, but we'll see. I think they win more games than the Jets did last year. I don't think the Giants are a 2-win team. I think they're bad, but I don't think they're a 2-win bad. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, though. What do we got here? I see some people talking about the Jaguars kick return for a touchdown at the half. That was wild. That pretty much changed the momentum and changed that game in Jacksonville. The Cardinals were up at that point 10-7, right? And then it was 14. And now they're going to go up 20-7 or 20-10, whatever. Roger Santana says, I have a feeling about this game. What kind of feeling? A good feeling or a bad feeling? Because right now I'm not super confident. I think it's a tough matchup on paper. Who knows? It's the NFL. Crazy things happen week in and week out, but I just don't love this matchup on the road in Denver. Tough place to play. They're going to be loud. They're going to be into the game. It's their home opener. If I'm not mistaken, they started on the road against the Giants, and then they went on the road to Jacksonville last week. So it's their home opener. I don't love it. And Teddy Bridgewater, I mean, they have it right now on red zone. He's playing the best football of his career. He looks really good through 2 games. It looks like they made the right decision at the quarterback position by not continuing to start Drew Lock and go to Teddy Bridgewater. And right now they're 2-0 with a chance to go to 3-0 if they win today in a good division. Stephen T, I have a 5-team parlay, and right now Arizona could bust it. Oh, that's depressing. I hate that. I see some other comparison. Yeah, it's Prestige Shogun again. Matt, just imagine the media tonight. The headlines being Trevor Lawrence wins a game and Zach Wilson loses again. They're going to flame us just because we're the Jets. Yeah, I tried to make that point on Twitter earlier when I quote tweeted my video promo from earlier in the week where I was talking about the overreaction to Zach Wilson's bad game this week. So there's no sugarcoating it. Like, Zach Wilson didn't play good in week 2. He threw 4 picks. That's really, really bad. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you otherwise. It was not good. But that does not mean that I am out on him. And I kind of said, like, hey, rookie quarterbacks struggle. And Mac Jones is having a really bad game. Trevor Lawrence started with a bad game. He's turned it around a little bit. I haven't seen what his numbers are up to yet, but they're up 19-10 right now. And Justin Fields has looked really bad. So I think that means that all those guys are busts and they're not good players. No, it's just there's going to be ups and downs. And that's just the reality of the situation, unfortunately. Ninja Dude. Mims greater than Smith, Cole, and Berrios on the outside. Agree 100%. I don't get it. It's bizarre. I don't quite understand. Here we go. SG31 Black. Zach Wilson's stat line today. What did I have it? I'm going to have to go back and look at my Google Doc from my preview video. Here we go. I have him at 17 of 30 for 186 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So the first game of his career, under 200 passing yards. Arizona just scored, so that's going to become a 1-score game again. I think he keeps it under 200. I think they go a little bit conservative today. I think he plays okay. I think it's going to be close for the first half, and then I think Denver pulls away a little bit at the end, and they end up covering the 10.5 number. I think they win by like 13 or 14 points. But I don't think it's going to be an embarrassing effort from Zach Wilson this week. I don't think he's going to throw a multiple interception game. I think the offense will be okay. I mean, they haven't really been great through 2 games. LaFleur needs to be better. I think they get too run happy on early downs, and they got to make life a little bit easier for Zach Wilson and get him some easy completions. So let's see what else we got in the chat. Joe Douglas in the chat, or someone at least named Joe Douglas. The offense, as bad as it's been, I think whether it's this week or week 10, that it will all start to click. Eventually, yes. I don't think they're going to be this bad through the entirety of the season. Like, I've seen so many people who originally picked the Jets to win 6, 7, 8 games, which I think that's fair. After 2 games, be like, oh, this is going to be another 2 or 3 win team. I don't think so. I still think there's a team that could maybe find their way to 6, especially in the second half. I think they're going to look a lot better as Wilson continues to go on. I mean, if you look back to Sam Darnold after his rookie year, when he came back from injury, he finished that year pretty strong. I know they finished 4-12, I think, in 2018, but they were playing much more competitive football in the second half of that season after he came back from his injury. And then even in 2019, I mean, when he came back from mono, the first game back against the Cowboys, he had one of the better games of his career. So, oh, is that a Lamar pick? No, just popped up in the air. This is a strange one to me. Baltimore and the Lions. Baltimore is up 13-7, but I figured it would be more of a blowout. I'm very surprised that Detroit is still very much so in this game. Here's a perfect one from ARJ Arjun Baller, something like that. LaFleur really needs to incorporate some quick slants and some short passes to Moore. I agree. Can we get some design screens to Elijah Moore? Or how about some screens to Michael Carter? We saw in the Patriots game what he could do with the ball in his hands. I'm a big fan of Carter. I think he's more involved today, especially with Coleman out. So I would like to see him more involved. He has, I think, 5 targets or 5 receptions through 2 games when Braxton Berrios has 18. I think that needs to change. I think, trying to force feed him and Ryan Griffin the ball is a little bit strange. So hopefully they go away from that a little bit today. Drippy. He says, I want Gus Johnson to call a game for the Jets. He is fun, man. Gus Johnson is one of the most fun broadcasters out there. He sounds like a fan calling the game, which is fine. That's fun. I don't like when announcers put on their big broadcast voice and try to be, like a 1940s announcer and just have that big booming voice. Like, it's okay to show emotion. And Gus Johnson does that, and he makes it fun. Sports is supposed to be fun. So give me more Gus Johnsons. Now, don't try to be something you're not. Like, I don't want Joe Buck to pretend to be Gus Johnson, but just how about a little more personality? I think that's fair, as Justin Tucker is going to attempt another field goal. He's been bad today. He's missed a couple so far. This one's from 32. He's 2 of 3. Sorry, I thought he missed 2. He's 2 of 3. Let's see if he hits. This one's from 32. And it's right down the middle. Good. Arjun Bowler. I did get it. Let's go. Good. What else we got in this chat? Gitmo Bob. Let's get into it. Whatever happened to running jet sweeps and screens to take advantage of overly aggressive pass rush? Why does LaFleur abandon the run when the Pats couldn't stop it? Where's the quick short passes? That's a totally fair question. I wish I had a better answer for you. I think Arizona just scored a touchdown. Was it a pick? 6? Someone show me what happened. The defense is on the field. Lawrence is walking off. This looks like it's a pick 6. I'll get back to this question in a second. I just want to react to potentially another Trevor Lawrence interception because he has had 6. Or is it a fumble? Oh, no, he definitely threw the ball. That's a pick 6. He's got 7 interceptions. Now, don't take this the wrong way. This is not me saying Trevor Lawrence is a bust, but look at how poorly Trevor Lawrence has played through 3 weeks now and versus Zach Wilson, the coverage that they've gotten. Why? Because nobody gives a damn about Trevor Lawrence sucking in Jacksonville, but because Zach Wilson struggles in New York, the biggest media market in the world, that has to be the LOL Jets moment. But God forbid anyone talks about how bad the Jacksonville Jaguars are because they're an embarrassment of a franchise. So there you go. But yes, sorry, Gitmo Bob. I'll get back to you. There should have been more quick passes. It should have been more easy reads. And at times it was there. I think Zach Wilson was just forcing it. Like on one of his interceptions in the first half, he was kind of rolling out and he had Elijah Moore in the flat and instead tried to make a huge play down the field to Corey Davis. I think this was the second pick. And just like no reason for that throw. Just check it down. So some of it's on the player, but some of it is also on the coordinator. It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of both of their faults at points. What else we got? Pick 6. There we go. Everyone's reacting to Trevor Lawrence's interceptions. Sorry, the comments are a little bit behind. I, unlike in week 1, am streaming through somewhere else and it's rebroadcasting to YouTube and Twitter at the same time. But I think I'm going to change this in the future so that it's only through YouTube so that I could get the comments back up and stuff like that. So thank you for sticking with me through this. We have a super chat from V-Man. Let's get to it. He says, NYJ, this is V-Man. Thank you for the super chat. NYJ is better coached than Jags and better motivated than Jags. Any New York Jets, we shall put up a better fight. And New York Jets, we shall put up a better fight than Jags and Giants. 23-20 New York Jets. I would love it if the Jets win today. I really hope that they do. I am not sold on a Jets win. Again, I would love it. I would, if I'm proven wrong, I'd be the happiest guy in the world. I hope the Jets keep it close. I hope they steal a win on the road. That would be really, really fun. And that would get people back into it. And like, that's the thing, at least through the Jets' first 2 losses, like in week 1, offense was terrible in the first half that did not show a lot of life at all. Second half, much better. In game number 2, Zach Wilson played terrible, but the rest of the team looked okay. So maybe if they play a 100% perfect game, they could win against this Denver Broncos team. Like, it's not impossible, but just matchup wise, I don't love it. I think Von Miller could have a really big day. Because he moves around on the defense and he's going to go from the left side to the right side, I think, a little bit. And that defense has been really good, especially against young quarterbacks, as Herbert comes back and he throws a touchdown. So we got a little bit of a shootout action in Kansas City there. But yeah, I would love to see the Jets win today. I think it'd be awesome. This fan base could use something to rally behind, or especially if Zach plays well. Like if Wilson throws for like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and the Jets shock with a win, that would be awesome. Hell yeah. Sign me up for that, please. Drippy's in on the Jets upset win. He's saying I'm calling it right now. Vib Shop, not so positive. Jets is not winning, he says. Stephen T says so many turnovers so far today. Absolutely. A Baron Chess says, I think both of these past games were very winnable. We're a bad team, but we aren't as bad as the media paints us to be. I truly believe that. That I think is a good point. Like the Jets, I don't think the Jets are a good team. And what I mean by a good team is a team that's going to be over 500 and competing for a playoff spot. I don't think the Jets are there yet. Next year, sure, completely different story. But they were in week 1, as I said, to the end. And in week number 2, everyone looked okay except for the quarterback. The rookie quarterback threw 4 picks, and they somehow were in the game until late in the third quarter. Like if you turn the ball over 4 times, 3 in the first half, 2 on your first 2 throws, you shouldn't be in that game. But somehow, some way, the Jets were. So kudos to them. Hopefully Robert Saleh has them ready to go, and a steal one on the road would be sick. Mo Dean does not agree with A. Baron Chess. He says, we are worse than the media paints us. What? I don't know. The media paints the Jets pretty bad. Like they're the worst team in football. I don't think the Jets are the worst team in football right now. Mo, what else we got? Ooh, Jordan Kelly, Jets win 24-17. Zach Wilson looks very good. I would love that. Are you kidding me? Sign me up for a day where Zach Wilson looks really, really good. And the offense looks good and the Jets steal a win on the road. Hell yeah. No, I just want to look at Twitter here and see if there is any updates on just any inactives and stuff like that. A lot of Jet fans are on 7 interceptions through 2.5 games for Trevor Lawrence. He's a rookie, but the media seems to only attack one rookie quarterback. That's what a lot of Jet fans are saying. I love this one from NYJ Mike. If you're not following him on Twitter, you should. Imagine someone trying to explain to you before the season that Jamison Crowder and Denzel Mims would miss 5 of 6 possible games with one combined groin injury. Yeah, I don't quite get that one. Drippery's back. This is our makeshift Jets tailgate. I love it. Thank you to everyone tuning in, just hanging out before this game. I will not. Okay. JB 1200. He says, I will not let anyone forget who wanted Zach over Sam. Darnold is Tom Hanks. I don't get what's the Darnold to Tom Hanks comparison. Did I miss something in the chat? Oh, he's a Sam sexual. That's why. Well, never mind. V-Man with some stats. This guy knows his Jet statistics. He says Zach has a better game than Namath did during week 2 of the 1972 season. Now, who's going to go on Pro Football Reference with me? Is that Joe Namath, 1972? He won Comeback Player of the Year that year. Hang on. Let's see this numbers that V-Man's talking about. Game logs 1972. What year was it, V-Man? Scroll back up. Week 2, I think he said. 496 yards, 6 touchdowns, and a pick. Whoa, for a 123.5 rating. V-Man, I would love what you are selling. Saquon scored a touchdown. Finally, was it a running touchdown? Well, they're up. Someone tell me, I was looking at the chat. I missed it. Ooh, how about Cincinnati beating down on the Steelers? Steelers low-key stink. How about that? They're 1-1. They somehow stole a win in Buffalo and are now getting their doors blown off at home to Cincinnati Bengals after losing to the Raiders last week. Don't get that one. Jets gang says Zach, best rookie quarterback. Jets got best quarterback out of this year's draft class. I really hope so. I really hope they did. I don't think it's fair to say that through 2 or 3 games. I think we need to wait 2 to 3 years before we're able to definitively say what the ranking of the quarterback class is. But I mean, look at everyone through the first 2 weeks was saying that Mac Jones is the next Tom Brady. And he comes out and has a really bad game today. It's going to happen. Even if you are coached by Bill Belichick, the greatest coach in football, there's weeks as a rookie, you're just going to struggle. It's the reality of the situation. So yeah, Zach Wilson had a really bad game in week 2 against the Patriots. Who cares? It's one game. This is a rebuilding year. Move on. Let's see if he puts it together and how he bounces back in week 3. That's really what it's all about. When you're having these struggles as a rookie, it's how do you come back from them? And then what do you do? So I don't know. I'm not someone who's going to buy into the Zach Wilson is a bust after 2 games where they should have kept Sam Darnold because he threw for a bunch of yards against the Houston Texans who stink. If we let this play out, do you have to know a definitive answer after 2 weeks or 3 weeks? It's just a bit much. Okay, back to the chat. Drippy says Falcons are choking as usual. They're refusing to use Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, why wouldn't they use Kyle Pitts? I'm going to check the box score right now and pull up the numbers, but I don't remember hearing his name a whole lot today. Now, I wasn't watching just that game specifically. I had Red Zone on, and then they flip around, but I don't remember hearing a whole lot. Let's see. He doesn't have a catch today. Why? Don't know. Roger Santana asks, Zach with an explosive throw today? Yes, I do. Even in a loss, which I do think the Jets lose today, unfortunately. Hope they prove me wrong, but I'm not super confident going into this game. I think there will be at least 1 or 2 throws that make you go, oh, okay, wow, that's good. There was that in week 1. Heck, the incompletion to Elijah Moore in the first half, that would have changed everything. But sometimes this stuff just happens, man. Again, rookie quarterback, you're going to have to take your lumps. It's going to be fine. Mr. Tuda is upset. He says, we're going to lose. Crowder inactive for no reason, along with Mims. This game is an L. I don't like that Crowder and Mims aren't playing. That's obviously nothing new, as I just saw Josh Allen's numbers pop up on the screen, and that's just preposterous the day that he's had today. He's unbelievable. But agree. I don't like that, Berrios and Jeff Smith are getting the nods over Crowder and Mims. Now with Crowder, I would move on with him because I don't think he is back next year. He's on the last year of his deal. He took a pay cut. I would look to trade and get something back. With Mims, he's cheap for this year and 2 more years. I would like to see Denzel Mims on the field at some point. I don't understand why he's not on the field. This one doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I shrug. I don't have a good answer for you. He should be on the field. Modine, this is upsetting. All brakes, no gas, 4 flat tires. Check the Jets' latest tweet. Is it going to bother me? I'm seeing it. Check the tweet. I feel like it's going to make me upset. Talk to him too. Is this okay? So is this Wilson? I guess so. I'll play the audio for it. I'll watch it and I'll play the audio for you. Here we go.
Hey, man. Hey, y'all already know. Let's put all the pieces together. We're going to get that pass game right. Y'all do what y'all did last week. Hey, dominate today. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
I love that. He's taking accountability for the game that he had. last week. He played bad. He knows that he played bad. And that's another thing. Like, while I was at the game and I personally didn't boo Zach Wilson, and I think it was a little maybe premature to boo Zach Wilson, I understand why people were frustrated and did it. Like, again, I personally wouldn't do it, but he needs to know. Like Green Bean said on his video, man, he needs to know that he didn't play well, and he does know. Like, he gets it. Getting booed at home is not going to put Zach Wilson, in a spot where he's not going to be able to recover from. This is a guy with a good head on his shoulders. He knows what he did wrong. He'll be fine. I'm really not in the slightest concern with Zach Wilson. If he goes out and throws 2 picks today, which I'm not predicting that he's going to do, but let's say he does throw 2 more picks today, I'm not going to be out on him either. He has this year and next year to continue to develop, and that's the thing. This year is all about development, which goes back to the whole Denzel Mims thing and why he's not on the field. That doesn't make any sense at all. If you want to develop your team this year and you're not playing your second round guy from last year in 2020 because he can't play all 3 positions. What? JB 1200 under over 2.5 inch. For Zach, I'm taking the under for sure. Trippy says, got me hyped at home in my undies. Love it. JB 1200 and Modine are fighting for who is going to be the most annoying comment today with the Zach Wilson hate. Roger Santana is a little bit more positive. He says, going off against the top 10 defense, you watch. Zach will be driving a UPS truck in 4 years. What is with this? You guys out on Zach Wilson after 2 games? Could not be me. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Rich Samini getting put in a body bag on Twitter. Things you love to see. Zach Wilson has 5 interceptions through 2 games, tied with Trevor Lawrence for the most. If Wilson has 1 interception today, he would tie Jets' mark for most interceptions through first 3 starts. Glenn Foley and Geno Smith had 6. First comment, Trevor has 2 interceptions today. Let's do our research, Rich. I agree. Love it. V-Man back with a super chat. Thank you, V-Man. You're the best. Who is more obsessed? Some Jets fans with Sam Darnold or James Cameron with Titanic? Oh, man, it's tight. It's close. I'm going to say some Jets fans with Sam Darnold. I think that is the bigger one. It's a close, good comparison, V-Man, but it's close. Jordan Kelly back with the positivity. Zach Wilson, be fine. Let's win today, Zach. Love it. Thank you. Let's go back to Twitter momentarily. Give you some updates on what's going on this week. Really rough start for Justin Fields today. He did not play well at all. A lot of people are like that Zach Wilson pump up video, which I get it. I'm here for it. Not much on Twitter right now. It's been relatively quiet in Jets land after the inactives came out. It's pretty much just a waiting game until kickoff at 4:00. So I'm hanging out with you until a little bit before 4. So get your questions in. I'll try to answer them. This is a perfect comment from a Bear Interest. I could not have said it better myself. Trevor Lawrence is the next coming of Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. Throws 7 interceptions. Zach throws 5. He's a bust. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't understand why he is so heavily criticized, but these other quarterbacks aren't. I don't know. I think it's personally a little bit ridiculous. I am convinced that Mo Dean and JB 1200 are Sam Darnold burner accounts, actually. There's no other explanation for it. Brick Nomads brings up an interesting point. The Jets had better stats in almost everything over Patriots except for interceptions. Yeah, I mean, think about it. If let's change a couple of things, and you can't do this. Like I understand that we can't do this, but let's say on the opening possession, the refs didn't blow the whistle and the Jets got the ball, and let's even cut Wilson's interception total in half. Let's say he just throws 2, the one in the first one and the last one. The 2 in between don't count. I mean, that's a completely different game. It is. I'm sorry. It just is. When you have a quarterback who throws 4 interceptions, more often than not, you can't win the game. And the Jets proved that. They played well. The defense hung strong. I've been really proud of how this defense has played through 2 weeks. Most of these no-name corners are playing way over their heads, which is phenomenal. But it just happens. It's going to be okay, guys. Like, let's not jump ship, especially with how good the defense has been. They've been really good. The offense just has to hit their stride. I think it's a tough ask for it to happen this week or next week against Denver, against Tennessee. But after that, I mean, you have some winnable games on your slate, man. Don't give up on this season yet. Let's see what is up to in the chat. Jets gang is not in on the Panthers winning no Super Bowl. Charles B thinks it's going to be a blowout. What constitutes as a blowout? 14 or more, 17 or more, 20 or more? What does it have to be a blowout? I think they cover. They being Denver. I think they win by, what I have it, 27-13, something like that. So a 14-point game. But I wouldn't say I don't consider 27-13 a blowout. 30-6 blowout. Interesting comment from Nicholas here. He says, I will never for the life of me understand why we don't use more in the slot at all. Great question. He's been playing on the outside a lot, and they've used Braxton Berrios in the slot a lot. Personally, I would rather, even if they're not going to use Denzel Mims, at least have Keelan Cole outside and have more in the slot. I think you'd get better matchups there. I think you'd be more versatile there. But I don't know. Jets like him outside. I don't think you should be strictly inside or strictly slot, but I do think a majority of them should be in the slot. Scott Many comes in. It is game 2 of a career. This is a rebuilding year, and we have 2 first-rounders coming. Everyone breathe. Thank you. Yes. As we've said all along, the 2022 version of the New York Jets is going to look nothing like the 2020 or 2021 version of this team. They have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. That could be franchise changing. It could. And one of them has a good chance to be a top 10 pick. More than likely, the Jets are picking the top 10, maybe top 5. I don't think they are going to pick top 5, but some believe it's going to be a top 5 pick. So if that's the case, then great. You get your guy and you go for it, man. They need help on the edge, offensive line, corner, tight end. Other than that, just continue to build up the offensive line. Let Zach do his thing, and I think it'd be okay. It's going to take a little bit of time. Oh, it looks like the Falcons are looking like they're going to try to score. It's 14-7. 5:44 left in that game, and they're 2nd and goal. But Giants got to hold on and cover this one for me. I don't quite understand how they are not playing better against this Atlanta team that just stinks out loud. Arjun Baller back says Myles Garrett is feasting on that Bears O-line. Yeah, that Bears offensive line is bad. Maybe that's why they were trying to hold Justin Fields out for as long as they can, but I don't know. I feel like you're wasting time with Andy Dalton. Oh, almost a pick. Who was that on the Giants? Was that Bradbury? Who's 22? Don't know, but 22 on the Giants just dropped what should have been easy interception right there. That was it was Jackson. That was bad. The 2022 quarterback class does not look great. I don't really love this quarterback draft class. Up flag. Jeez, the Giants stink. Oh my God, they're gonna give this one up. They're gonna let Atlanta score right now. Who's that? Logan Ryan now? Oh God, the Giants are so bad. I might have to embargo them again from my gambling slate. I did after last week, and then this past week with them honoring Eli Manning at the half. Said, you got to take the Giants. At home over Atlanta, they figure they got to score. But both of these teams are just awful, atrociously bad. NYC Gangrene comes in. Jets better not look this bad when we play the Falcons. I don't think the Jets will be this bad. I really think the Jets can beat the Falcons, especially in London, like on a neutral site field. I think the Jets would have a really good shot against Atlanta. I have that game circled right now as one that looks like a win. The next 2 weeks are going to be very tough. Can they steal one? Sure. It's the NFL. Crazy things happen. But if the Jets lose to Atlanta, I would be very upset. It looks like the Chargers are about to score. They have the ball on the 1 yard line. They're down by 3. And a big stop by the Chiefs defense for now. Falcons just scored. Who was it? Smith? Yeah. It looks like it was Smith. Oh, the Giants stink. Let's see what happened here. They went double box. I'm looking at 2 games at the same time right now. Please hold. A little play action fake. That's too easy. Rusty Spooner comes in and says Fields got sacked 8 times so far today. I feel like that can't be true. There's no way. I mean, the Bears' offensive line is really bad. Let's see. 8 sacks, 53 yards lost. He has 58 passing yards and 53 yards lost on sacks. So that's a net positive of 5 yards. Fields 5 of 16, 58, 3.6 yards per attempt. God, that is really bad. 8. Wow, Chicago's a dumpster fire. They are really, really bad. I'm almost surprised they beat the Bengals last week. So the Bengals come away with wins against the Vikings, right, in week 1, and are probably going to beat the Steelers this week, but they lost to the Bears. Strange. Very, very strange. The Bear mash 1-2-3-0, mash 12-30. Well, the Bears' line is probably worse than ours. No, not probably. Definitely. The Bears' offensive line is bottom 3. I think the Giants may have the worst offensive line. I feel like it's between the Giants and the Bears for worst offensive line. Jets' offensive line still needs work, especially at right guard, but I think they are much better than where both the Bears and the Giants are at right now, which I'll take. Oh my God, 23-6. Browns are up. I mean, we figured that was going to be a blowout game. They're going to score again. They're in the red zone right here. They're kind of just running the clock out. Chargers 3rd and goal from the 6. They're still down 3, 24-21. Oh, nice move by Herbert. He's going to throw one too far out of bounds for Keelan Allen. So I'm assuming they'll kick the field goal and tie this game. Now 2:17 left in the fourth quarter. We're in witching hour time. Are there really any good games on right? The closest ones are somehow Baltimore's only winning by 2 over Detroit. Tennessee's up 22-16, and Giants and the Falcons are tied at 14. Gitmo Bob, when will the Mims trade demand surface? I don't look at Mims as someone who's like going to demand a trade and want out. I don't really think it's going to get to that point. I really hope it doesn't, but it's, I don't know. It's frustrating to say the least. A good comment here from Drippy also. Imagine if this was the Jets. Media is literally foaming at the mouth to post negative articles about the Jets. Yeah, that's why I try to tell you guys stay away from the Jets beat. They're miserable. The Jets beat is miserable. The national media loves to go LOL Jets. And sometimes they deserve it. They definitely do sometimes, but I think it's a bit much. A Baron Chess comes back, says, I hope JD is more aggressive this offseason. Add 2 competent linemen and we'll be set. Maybe Thibs in the draft. Okay. I'm always about more linemen, man. Give me as many offensive linemen as humanly possible. Make life as easy for your young quarterback as possible. They didn't do that with Sam. They made life very, very difficult for Sam Darnold. I don't want that to be the case for Zach. And I hope Joe Douglas does a better job. I think so far he has. Nick DeMora is back, says, do you think the Jets will unveil throwback uniforms this year? I would love some nice throwback. Jesus, Bills are up 43-14. Sorry. I would love some nice throwbacks. I am a huge fan of, hang on, let me grab it. This logo. I would love for them to bring this logo back and these helmets specifically back. I think they would be smart to do that. They would sell a ton of jerseys, mostly to me, but I would love it. I would love for them to bring it back. I don't hate the current versions of these Jets jerseys as much as some other people. I feel like some have turned on them, especially with the Jets being so bad over the last couple of years. But I will say I hate the green pants. Either go green jersey, white pants, or white jersey, white pants. The white and the green on green especially is just not a good look. Submission 72. Matt, to be honest, I'm starting to lose interest. I've been a Jets fan for so long, and it's just like, I don't know if I can take it anymore. I get it. It's been frustrating. The Jets haven't made the playoffs since 2010. It's been a long, long, long time since they've been relevant. But if you're going to give up now, I feel like this is the closest that they've been to having a competent plan in place since the last time they were good. So I feel like if you made it this far, leaving now would be like, I don't know if I have a good comparison for you, like what leaving now would be like. Don't know. Yeah, don't have a good answer for you. We Are Jets loves the 80s helmets and the uniforms. Those are solid. I agree. Love them. Oh, another Saints touchdown. That game's just about iced. Tennessee had a field goal. Yep, 25-16. So we'll see if Carson has anything left in the tank. He's just a walking injury at this point, though, right? Yeah, Pats are getting beat up today. They for the first time all year, Mac really looked like a rookie. He did not play well at all. It was a very rough game for them. They even had a special teams mistake. They had a punt blocked. Not your prototypical Patriots game at all. And man, I am really surprised with Pittsburgh. I thought they'd put up a much better effort than this. They're down 24-10 at home to Zach Taylor's Cincinnati Bengals. That's disgusting. That's grotesque. So, Jacob Finnegan, I'm glad you asked how is fantasy looking. I am having the worst possible fantasy season maybe ever. So, let's go to my team for a second. I have A.J. Brown, who left with an injury. He got me 0.3 points. J.K. Dobbins got hurt for me. I had J.K. Dobbins in both my leagues. I have Dalvin Cook, who's out. Antonio Brown, who has COVID. So right now I have Cook and Brown on my bench. And I am forced to start my 2 starting running backs today. We'll show you the kind of state that I'm in my one fantasy league. Were Devin Singletary, who has 3.6 points, and Ty Johnson. Now, in the other league, I have no shot to win in that league. In the other league, I have a little bit more of a chance. Right now, I am winning. Kamara's having a good day for me, but Terry McLaurin and Tyreek Hill have been very, very down on me. This is a 10-team league. Kamara and Hill were my keepers. Kamara, good day. Hill, not so good. But I have Brady going later. So I think I have a good shot to win that one. But the Yahoo League is really bad. Wow, Mahomes, an ugly interception. Are you kidding me? What? What is Mahomes thinking there? Who was that ball to? They're going to show the replay right now. He was trying to hit Kelsey, just overthrew him by about 5 yards. That was very un-Patrick Mahomes-like. I don't know what the hell he was thinking there, but that is a brutal interception, and the Chargers are in business right now. Let's check the comments. I'm getting lost in the comments. I'm doing a tough job hosting this solo right now, but I love you guys for hanging out with me before the game. It's just me, says, let Mims play, damn it. Bang the table. We are Jets. New England down 15 with 2 minutes to go. Those are just things you hate to see. Just hate to see it. You're telling me the Detroit Lions are really about to upset the Baltimore Ravens? This is going to happen? The NFL is a strange league. I mean, one of these times the bounce has to go the Jets' way, right? And they have to win again. Like, Detroit has no business being in this game. The Chargers probably shouldn't be in this game either, but like, can this be the Jets at 4:00? Just have a crazy game and they somehow end up winning? That would make my Sunday really fun. That would be a blast to do a nice post-game video. No, Jacob, to answer your question, I'm not staying live for the whole game. I will. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of hours of just being on and talking. And I don't like the sound of my own voice that much. I would like to just kind of hang out and watch a little bit. But pregame thoughts is going to be a thing throughout this year. The only other time I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to do a pregame live stream is next week. I will be in Houston for the weekend, so I will not be doing a live stream pregame, but I will be doing a post-game video from the hotel. So there we go. 10 minutes to kick off. Almost that time to start signing off. So get in your last-minute questions now on the stream, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see if the Jets pull off a crazy win. Drippy's back in. He says, Lions over Ravens. We live in a simulation. The Ravens' loss is on Hollywood Brown. I agree with that. He had two huge drops in this game. One literally in the end zone. Prediction for the score, 27-13 Broncos win. Jets lose by 14. One touchdown. Zach Wilson to Elijah Moore on the one touchdown. NYC Gangrene. Giants game is so bad that I forgot we have a game today. Oh, yeah. Jets are playing today. Don't you worry. Do you think Mims is being kept down the wide receiver depth chart for disciplinary reasons? Could be. It very well could be. I mean, they've said that they want him to be able to play all three positions, which right now he hasn't been able to do. I don't agree with it, but that's their logic. I hope Elijah Moore scores. I have him in fantasy. Hell yeah. There you go. I have him too. Kneecap biting Lions about to win a game before the Jets. No, I don't want to accept that. I just can't. All right. So before I go, which I'm about to go down, so get my setup going for my notes ready to go for this game. If the Jets were to win, I'll give you three things the Jets have to do to win this game. Number one, cannot turn the ball over. Absolutely cannot have a Zach Wilson turnover. They are going to have to be able to run the ball on offense, easy completions for Zach Wilson, manage the game. It would be a low-scoring game if they were to win. That's thing number one. Number two is they have to create a turnover. They were able to do that in week one, but in week two, didn't really get – there should have been a turnover, but they weren't technically able to get a turnover. So number two would be to get a turnover. And the last thing would be give me a trick play. Either an end around that somebody throws, like Jamison Crowder last year, fake punt, a surprise onside kick. Give me something to change the momentum. Those are my three things the Jets would have to do to win. That's going to do it for me on today's live stream. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. It was an absolute blast. Hopefully you enjoy the game. That's going to do it.